Hi, I'm Kendall, and it is Monday, July 26th. Hi, good morning. This is Tuesday, May the 4th, 2021. It's Tuesday, August the 10th. Hello, it is August 20th, 2021, and this is my weekly wrap-up on Friday afternoon. So, summary. This was maybe a breakthrough week for me. I learned a new skill that, in my opinion, has been holding me back, and I am actually very excited to start running with it next week. I also felt a huge personal victory for me in this as well. So yeah. So this week I focused the most by far on my short story, The Conflagration, which I'm still working with that title. Honestly, I was getting a little bummed earlier in the week because this just keeps taking forever, and I don't like that, and makes me feel like I'm not doing something right. But then I have to look back and remind myself that I am continuing to grow. Like, this is not taking forever because I'm putting it off, and it's not taking forever because I'm going back and starting from zero. It's taking forever because I find a new problem and then I dig into it. And at some point, I won't need to dig into the problems anymore. I'll have all the answers. So I'm reminding myself that. But then, icing on the cake, yesterday, Thursday, I realized I was breaking through on a new skill, right? So, and this is a very important skill. This is like a 300 level skill that you have to have as a writer, scene blocking. So I've blocked scenes before, and I do use them on every story I've written, but I've never successfully blocked an entire story. So now, after focusing almost exclusively on it this week, I am excited to share with myself that I have fully blocked out my Conflagration story. So every scene is blocked out, showing the character value shifts, exhibition points of the various storylines, and movements of the overall tone of the story. This is pretty monumental for me since this skill is a necessary one for novel writing, right? So without being able to block out an entire story, scene for scene, with those components, right, the exhibition, all your storylines being tracked through, without being able to do that, it is nearly impossible to write a full-length novel or even short stories of any complexity. So personally, this was a huge success since my brain tends to view things in big picture. But in writing, since you're writing everything from scratch, you have to be able to see not only the big picture, but you have to, because you are creating every single tree in that forest. So you have to create, right? You have to pay attention to them. It's very hard for me to think about them. So being able to do that this week was, again, a very big personal victory. So, right. I often get pretty nervous about my newsletter, creating content, right? I balance basically trying to be a professional and trying to provide new content and new ideas every week and trying to build and establish connection with the folks that have been kind enough to say, sure, let me follow along. But at the same time, I also try to remind myself that it is only a few people and that if I'm a day late and $1 short, it's not the end of the world, but it still bothers me. So I think I'm ready to quit focusing so much on putting together this newsletter that has all these tidbits and nice content and interesting things, and it speaks about who I am as a person and tries to share interesting ideas. I'm going to focus less on that and go back to just focusing on my writing. So if I don't have fresh content to share because I've been so focused on writing a short story or something like that, then I am going to commit to not letting it wear me down. I am ready to start, or to continue, but to ramp up and really emphasize with myself to focus on the craft and not the presentation of the craft. The presentation can come later, but the craft has to be there first. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on moving forward. Using my new blocking to write my story. That is what I am most looking forward to. So it is Friday afternoon right now, yeah, so Monday I don't know what's going to be my newsletter yet, but I will not worry about making a ton of new content. But when I'm done with that, then I'm excited to sit down with my blocking page and let my story do its thing. I think that's the really exciting thing about a blocking page is that you know exactly like what's going to happen, right? How your character starts, where they end, what they learn in the middle. You learn any exhibition pieces, right? We need to mention that this thing happened, right? So they can come up later. We need to mention that, you know, this person is thinking this so that we can reference it later. So it's got all those. So you've got all those pieces. You don't need to remember any. They're right there staring you in the face. And then you can just let your characters act, right? You can just kind of put your characters in a room, let them do what they do, and then just look at your blocking page and make sure that all those pieces are being hit. And so that's what I'm most excited about. I think next week will be incredibly fun because I'll be able to really let my characters live. So anyway, yeah. So that's it. Okay, I have to go do something fun.